Hello everyone. So yesterday, a video was shared of another large-scale mechanized assault of Russia's going a bit Pete Tong. The third one this week. This one took place near Malinivka, the next region, which is again on the Pokrovsk axis. So the same area as the last two failed mechanized pushes that we looked at. This is an interesting one because the very first strike on the column is a HIMARS rocket hitting it. It's quite rare to see HIMARS used against a moving target like this, so that's very cool to see. The rest of the column we see getting engaged by artillery fire and FPV drones. This attack featured 22 armoured vehicles, a mixture of tanks and APCs. I can count possibly 17 or 18 vehicles being destroyed here or abandoned here and hit in this video. So, a huge amount of losses here by Russia. It brings flashbacks of Russia's Vuhledar disaster really. Notably, this video features two interesting ones. Firstly, a tank that gets stuck in an anti-tank ditch, and then another tank which goes over a bump in the road and loses the trailer that it was dragging behind it, which then seems to cause a bit of a block up behind the road, which spells disaster for the Russians. So, this operation, clearly put together by the tactical geniuses behind the Seversky Donetsk river crossing, the first Vuhledar offensive, and the BTR barbecue. After going months without seeing a large-scale mechanized assault like this, it is interesting to see at least three in the space of a week. I guess Russia decided to give the Ukrainian drone operators something different to aim at this week than the usual golf carts and motorcycles and scooters that they've been using. But as you can see in the video, this attack a disaster for Russia. Multiple vehicles destroyed or so badly damaged that they needed to be abandoned. And I assume Ukraine sent in the drone drop squad afterwards to clear up and polish off the abandoned vehicles. As mentioned, the vehicles here was a combination of tanks, turtle tanks, and infantry fighting vehicles like BMPs. I guess the Russian leaders have realised that with winter approaching, the next month or so could be the last chance of making any serious gains before the year is out, so they're throwing armour into the mix in the hope that enough of them force their way through Ukraine's defences to take some new ground. So, let's see where this took place. Mark Lassen on Twitter did some excellent geolocation work with this one. First, before we have a look at the map, an example of his working out for the HIMARS strike in the early part of the video. I thought it worth a quick look as it shows a very nice example of how his geolocation work is done, and also shows that his working out is accurate for the future ones. For our map, I'm going to use yellow for the generic APCs abandoned and destroyed, and different colours for the key and most interesting incidents that we saw in the video clip. So the blue marker shows the first strike on the column, the HIMARS strike. Now, for the next spot, further north along the road, marked by red, is an anti-tank ditch. As the Russians got stuck and struggled to cross this ditch, it led to all of the vehicles bunching up and being picked off by Ukrainian artillery. This is the area where you may remember in the video, we saw a tank move over the ditch over a bump in the road near the ditch and lose its trailers, which no doubt added to the traffic jam. Just to the north of that, in purple, is a marker showing a tank which fell into one of the anti-tank ditches. We then see a cluster of 3 BTRs shown with the pink markers. 3 BTRs seen here destroyed in practically the same spot. So it looks like these may have taken a direct artillery hit. Further south in black, 3 infantry fighter vehicles destroyed in the same spot again, including one that was flipped over. These were BMP variants. And given they were destroyed simultaneously in the same place like this, again, I think it very likely these took a direct hit from artillery fire too, whilst jammed up in the rear. As mentioned, the yellow markers on the map show generic solitary APCs and BMPs which were hit and destroyed. So, an interesting assault by Russia here, and some excellent defensive work by Ukraine. The main push here is of course like so, straight up the main road and a line, with a few APCs being picked off a little bit further to the west on the flank. That could be a diversion raid here, or just covering the flank of this push. It could even be that these APCs destroyed here weren't actually part of this attacking force and were just carrying out their own operations and that sort of thing, but were hit by the same unit on the same day. 4 APCs confirmed destroyed in that area. This was an even bigger balls up than the last 2 mechanized pushes by Russia, as here, they didn't even get out of Russian-controlled territory. These were all destroyed heading north towards a settlement called Popov Yar, occupied by Russia. in the area highlighted in blue. Circled in red is a settlement called Shakova, which is the target for these Russian pushers. The last two pushers did actually leave Russian occupied territory and enter contested territory before being defeated. At least one of them entered Volodymyrivka. This one, though, didn't. Now, this attack, I'm not sure if the intention here was at some point to cut west and head towards Shakova too, or just continue north and push on to Shakova's eastern flanks. We don't know because the Russians didn't get anywhere near the target before this operation went tits up. And zoomed out, you can see that this is here on the eastern front near Pokrovsk, which is possibly the most important area in Ukraine at the moment, and where Russia is pushing very hard. It's here where the last two large mechanized assaults took place. Russia, I guess, wanted to put as much pressure on Pokrovsk as they can before winter, ready for a renewed push on the city next year. The Pokrovsk region so far this year, from the 1st of January until today, War Spotting is showing 594 vehicles destroyed, plus 8 more damaged. The most recent update was on the 16th of October with a BTR 82 added. That BTR is part of this push here. The rest of them haven't been added to War Spotting yet. So we can expect that number to tick up past the 600 mark for this year. And so far with these October mechanised pushes by Russia, Deep State is showing 31 vehicles lost. With today's video, we can add another 16 or 17 to that tally. So losses here are pretty huge. Russia losing a lot of vehicles in their attempts to gain Pokrovsk. They have been gaining ground on the flanks of Pokrovsk and that sort of thing, but haven't entered the settlement yet, and things have devolved now into a complete stalemate, with Russia making no real gains. Indeed, Ukraine has launched a successful counterattack in a couple of areas and regained lost territory. So, it is still an area we do need to keep an eye on, as again, Russia is pushing hard to take this. It is their main target in the war at the moment. So, that's it for this video. Hope you found it interesting. I definitely thought this one was worth a look. Now, I'm going to play a video from the fundraiser for Sanath, which is ongoing. It says there's only a couple of thousand left to go now, and so we should be able to get this one cleared up pretty soon. His donation link is in the description. Big thanks to everybody who's helped out so far. I appreciate it a lot. Sanath appreciates it a lot. And Yuri, who does the fundraisers for, also appreciates it a lot. Thanks very much, and take care, everybody.
Well, hello, Super Miners community. It's Sanath here, coming to you from the basement, otherwise known as the bunker. I hope everyone's doing really well. It's been several months since we spoke last, and this month marks the 2-year anniversary from when we first started working with the Super Miners community, the very generous and supportive community. And, you know, out here, you're always tottering from one crisis after the other, problem after problem. Priorities are changing all the time. I never really get time to look back on what we've done together and what we've achieved, but it is worth it. You know, we've done so much to help in this effort, in this conflict. Drones, multiple vehicles, Pajeros, L200s, generators, engines, battery packs, winter equipment, night vision capabilities, you name it. We've really been there making a massive difference to these guys. And over the course of time, all your donations, large and small, they've added up incrementally to make a massive difference in this conflict and shape things according to how we want them to emerge. Now, I've hit a bit of a problem here. We've hit a bit of a problem. We recently lost a couple of vehicles. They lasted multiple years. I think that one of them lasted 2 years and the other one like 18 months. So they've done a lot of work and they've seen the hotter spots of this conflict. But yeah, we're really stuck now because we need to try and get a couple of vehicles, 3 vehicles ideally, over the line and delivered to the guys as soon as possible. And of course, vehicles are the hardest part of this project because it's not like buying something online and just delivering it. Anything that can go wrong will go wrong with vehicles. On top of that, they have a 1,000-mile journey from the west of Europe to Ukraine. And we don't supply our vehicles just in standard format. We strip out the engine, normally install the BMW engine, strip out all the electronics, all those nasty things that can go wrong and become really unreliable. without any warning whatsoever and leaves you like a sitting duck. So yeah, that's the work we do, and but of course all our work is underpinned by a budget, a foundation, which is the generous donations that you provide. So with your support, we'll continue this fight and yeah, bring this to a very satisfactory conclusion. Take care, everyone.